guys and gals. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas from Drakewing Gaming. We hope y'all are having a great, wonderful holiday season with your friends, family, or maybe just even by yourself. Just kick back and enjoy, y'all. I'm coming to you with some more Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. Just sit back, enjoy it, sip some eggnog, or possibly something a bit stronger mixed in with it. So let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright, I know. Hey, man, is this Nathan thing really bugging you that much? Oh, 1 second, now let me make sure. Sorry about that, y'all. Had to make sure HDR was off. Okay. Hey, man, is this Nathan thing really bugging you that much? Oh, I mean, yeah, a little. He was really upset, but I understand. Don't worry about it. It's chill. I think I know something that might help. What? You'll have to find out tomorrow. You're my friend more than anything else. My brain and heart aren't down there. I care about you, man, and I worry, too. I don't know why. Because you're kind and a good friend, but for some reason you always tear yourself down, and I don't get it. You're amazing to me. Compared to you, I'm just me. You're like a literal Adonis. How am I to compete with that? Well, I can't say I dislike that implication, but I'm not as great as you want me to be. But you're like a fantasy come true. His hand stops, prompting me to look up to catch him staring at the window. There's that blank melancholy that I rarely get to see out of the water. You remember how I told you that people don't really ask me the things you do? You mentioned it before. Why is that? People don't look at me and want to find out more. They see a guy to have fun with, but then there's you. You're always wanting to know things people usually don't care to find out about. I don't know why they wouldn't. You're a real interesting guy. I don't know anyone else who's on a competitive swim team. But that's not what people want from me, you know? They want a hot, dumb guy who they can fool around with and forget in the morning. That I can do. That's easy. I don't think you're dumb. That makes him laugh, and it's a beacon of brightness on this otherwise somber conversation. He pulls me tighter against his chest, and I press myself further into his warmth. I hope so. I think Coach would kick my ass if my grades dropped. Wait, how good are your grades? I have a 4.0 GPA. What? I try to pull away so I can gawk in disbelief, but Oscar must have been ready for it as he makes sure to keep his hold tight. Not enough that I'd be actually trapped, but enough to cause a tussle between us that ended up in the two of us laughing. What? You thought I'd be some dumb jock that didn't know how to count to 10? That's harsh, man. I mean, a little? Nah, it's no problem. I played up, but don't worry. I'm not putting on an act or anything. This is all me. It's like to exaggerate things sometimes. I bet Lucas would get a kick out of knowing you're actually a genius. Nah, man, I'm no genius. Just big ol' Oscar with his head in the water. The two of us laugh until we can't anymore, and we just bask in each other's body heat. I got colder as the night went on, and I'm glad to have my own personal heating otter to help. There isn't even any awkwardness with our near-barren state of undress. It's hard to be shy when he's so casual about everything. It's part of the reason I enjoy being around him so much. I accidentally snuggle a little too close and end up accidentally nuzzling his neck. It's a lot more intimate than either of us had planned, and I thought Oscar was going to make a playful remark. Except he just looked uncomfortable, and I wasn't sure why. Hey, what's wrong? Nothing, just twist my dick a little. It'll be fine. Let's just get some rest. We might need it if things go right tomorrow. He gives a wink, and it's not subtle what he's hoping to achieve from his plan. There's a little part of me that's just as excited too, even if I'm still unsure. You know, water time. It feels like a diversion for whatever had been bothering him, but I already know that Oscar isn't receptive to that kind of prodding. I'll just have to look forward to whatever he has planned for tomorrow. The Eastern Campus is still just as popular Saturday as it had been yesterday. In fact, there might even be more people hanging out than before. This morning didn't go how I expected it. Instead of spending a comfortable morning cuddled up against Oscar, I woke him up, jumping out of bed and dashing back to his frat to shower and change. He was full of energy all morning and was more excited than I'd ever seen him so far, which is saying a lot because Oscar's probably the most energetic person I've ever met. I barely had any time to adjust before I was shoved into a shower and dragged out of the apartment building. I was still groggy and out of it by the time we had made it to another apartment complex where we picked up Selwyn. He was just as confused as I was, but more than happy to follow along with whatever Oscar had planned. That plan led us to get a quick breakfast at the campus cafe, though it was closer to lunch due to how late we slept in. That led us to here, at the East Campus, watching Everwinter's football team practice. It's different from the one we saw on Friday. It felt more like a proper game than anything else. Everyone looks exhausted. From what Oscar told me, there wasn't much time left to practice. Apparently they just start early in the morning and go till lunchtime doing drills in a practice game. I could see plenty of familiar faces on one of the teams. Nathan was obviously there, but so was some of the other guys I recognized, as well as like the other weasel, the canine who greeted us and the Rottweiler who kept an eye on us. Yeah, enjoying the show? Huh? Oscar and Selwyn were both staring at me with a similar glint in their eyes. Though he tried to protest that it wasn't a big deal, but Oscar just put him in a headlock and the two of them laughed it off. You're eyeing up all the guys. Any of them catch your attention? Oh, no, it wasn't anything like that. I was just looking for the guys we met yesterday. Nathan's really good. I know I shouldn't be surprised, but I've never watched football before. Everyone's football team is their main attraction. We might be a Division A for swimming, but people aren't as interested in that as football. You get all the fame and all the girls are guys. It's strange how Conrad acted then, right? What do you mean? Selwyn perked up at my comment as well. We haven't really filled him in on what we're doing, so I'll need to explain that to him at some point. Maybe he can give us some insight into anything we're overlooking. Well, if everyone on the football team is so popular, especially if you're on the main team, but Conrad sounded like a loner. He's only had Nathan as a friend, and people were more interested in Quinn than him. Maybe he just liked his privacy, you know? Some guys aren't into all the stars and glitter. You mentioned he used to go to your gym instead, right? Why would he do that when there's a gym right next to their football field? He probably just wanted to go somewhere to avoid the guys. After all, if he went to the gym around here. You think he was trying to avoid his team? Why would he do that? Well, you know. Oscar shrugs and gives me an innocent smile that makes me think that maybe he's figured out a little more than he's letting on. Just a hunch, and if I'm being honest, Quinn is a hell of a lot more confusing. I don't get her deal at all. Isn't she just his friend? What's weird about her? Well, she pushed Conrad into dating Helena and seems closer to the football team than he is. Just seems a little strange, man, that's all. Selwyn waves his hand up like he's trying to ask a question to a teacher. It causes Oscar to chuckle and lean down for Selwyn to whisper into his ear. Huh, you think? Selwyn thinks that maybe she was doing it to help him fit in. So she visited to help him with that? Selwyn nods and pulls out his phone, rapidly typing a message to the two of us. I'm still impressed by the speed at which he types, but Oscar treats it as something completely normal. It's a lot easier to become friends with someone if you get along with someone they're close to. I wouldn't have talked to you if Oscar didn't introduce us. That's fair. The two of them seem close regardless of what happened around them. Or maybe she was there to keep everyone happy, keep everyone away. That causes Selwyn and I's speech to halt, and we both look at him in confusion. I just established that I thought the two of them were close, but Oscar looks confident enough that I feel like I missed something. What do you mean? If you bring a pretty chick to a group of horny guys, they're gonna want to hang around her. Maybe it was a way to keep focus off him, you know? You think she was a distraction? I wouldn't go that far. Maybe she just likes showing up. Who knows? He gives a wide shrug and leans back against the bench. Despite the considerable size of it, Selwyn and I were barely covering the same ground of areas. He was alone. It was a good thing we didn't invite anyone else, though. I bet they would have enjoyed coming here. Why didn't we invite the others? I tried, but they said nah. Apparently Papa Bear has work, and Grumpy didn't want to come, and Lily has plans, so it's just us for now. Selwyn leans against me with a big smile on his face, as if he's trying to reassure me that I wouldn't be lonely. Oscar notices and wraps an arm around the two of us, squishing us together against him. Don't worry, the match is almost over, and we can get this plan on the road. You still never told me your plan. He doesn't reply, opting to just flash me another one of his big devilish grins that I know must have some level of mischief, especially since I know what the goal of all this is. For me to feel more comfortable with him, so we might... Oh, let's try that again. For me to feel more comfortable with him, so we might... Lily encouraged me to do it. I don't even think Lee is entirely against it anymore. He seems to have gained some level of respect for Oscar that he didn't have before. Hell, even Lucas had nice things to say about him. Maybe having some fun wouldn't be an entirely bad idea after all. With the help of Oscar explaining how the game worked alongside teasing me for constantly watching some of the guys who admittedly were pretty attractive, things went by quickly. Nathan noticed our group and gave us a wave. Well, I thought he gave it to our group, but he was staring directly at me while he did it. His face was pretty red while he did it. He must have been really exerting himself. So, let me try this one. Alright, baby, you know what I like. Alright. Something about the interaction greatly amused Oscar, and he began to whisper stuff to Selwyn that caused the two of them to giggle. I tried to get them to tell me what they were talking about, but they never spilled. The best I got was catching Selwyn's phone at one point, typing out something about something being very cute, but I wasn't able to get a good look before he tilted his phone away. Soon enough, a large tiger blows a whistle and shouts that practice is over. There are a few groans from the bleachers as people got up to leave. Most of the team scatters to the nearby changing rooms, though some stick around to talk. Oscar guides us closer and we waited for Nathan's exit. We, thankfully, didn't have to wait too long as a still dripping wet lizard exits the changing room alongside the other familiar faces I noticed. The moment he saw us, he waves off his friends and jogs towards us. His remaining friends all give us friendly smiles, except for the weasel who just gave me a curious tilt before wandering off. He looks significantly better than the first time he jogged over to me. He still looks a little uncomfortable when his eyes dart to Oscar, but his soft expression is a stark contrast to the glare he gave him yesterday. What are you guys doing here? Do you need something else? The little guy here was just worried about you, so I thought we'd come and cheer you up. You're worried about me? His reply is muffled by sputtering, and he looks completely knocked off his game. He had been so relaxed a moment ago, but now his face is flushing red and his eyes are darting between Oscar and me at lightning speed. Wait, you wanted to come cheer me up? Why? Told you the little guy was worried, and if I'm being honest, I kind of felt guilty about it too. Usually guys don't mind it when I bail, but I don't know, you look real hurt, man. I was. Despite Oscar's attempt to keep a smiling face, there's something mournful in his eyes. There's guilt there, and I think I can see it mirrored in Nathan's face too. It was my fault too. I've been really upset about it when you didn't tell me it wasn't going to be anything serious. I was just hoping. I know, that's part of why I do it. Sorry, man. Being honest, looking back on it now, I feel like a bit of an idiot. It should have been a fun night, but I've been so focused on something more. I think I was still grieving over Conrad and pushed that on you. Did he die around then? I'm so sorry. Yeah, it'd been a month or two by that point. I'd gotten over it mostly, though I began to feel lonely after practice. I got the guys, but we're only so close. If you don't mind saying, I was curious about what happened between the two of you. Well, it was true that I was really curious about what happened, but part of me was curious about how this might end up applying to me if I did sleep with Oscar. The offer is tempting, but a little worrying. Oscar just keeps his gaze on Nathan, giving him the option to accept or decline it. For his part, Nathan doesn't look too uncomfortable with the question. His smile isn't as strong as before, but it still remains. Yeah, I don't mind, I guess, but can we go somewhere else? I need something to eat and relax my legs. Coach gets on our ass on Saturday. So, water time. I wish Coach would let me practice more on weekends. He always gets on my ass whenever I go in on Sunday. Damn, aren't you lucky? Nathan's about to head away when he nearly bumps into the last member of our group. Selwyn had been pretty quiet ever since Nathan arrived, but he didn't look as awkward around him as he usually did. Then again, I didn't see how he was when he first came over. Maybe seeing him talking to Oscar and I made things feel less awkward for him than just meeting him out of the blue. Oh, sorry, this is Selwyn. He's a friend of ours. He's got selective mutism, so don't mind if he doesn't reply to you. Oh yeah, no stress. I wouldn't want to make you uncomfortable. I haven't made you uncomfortable, have I? Despite Oscar's chuckling, it doesn't look like Nathan's kidding from his wide eyes, but Selwyn just gives him a smile. It's a little more stilted than usual, but it still has his usual warmth. He offers his hand, which Nathan shakes with great relief. He looked like he'd just dropped a load of heavyweights from how much he relaxed. It feels like Selwyn is trying to comfort him. Nathan's a lot more jittery than I expected him to be. Maybe that's just because of Oscar's presence, or maybe this is because of Conrad. I had planned to ask him more about Conrad, but it might be best to wait until he's more comfortable around us. Where should we go? Did you have anywhere in mind? Why don't we go to the bar we went to last night? They're like half a restaurant, so we can get food there. Oh, you mean the Winter's Edge, right? The guys and I go there for lunch after practice on Fridays. I must have missed you then. We went there last night. Hey y'all, sorry about the end there. Stupid Avast pop-up caused my recording to end right before the timer went off, so I've silenced the pop-ups from it. But yeah, anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and leave a tip if you can. It always helps. But yeah, I want to thank our lovely patrons. I want to thank our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our not safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, y'all. Plenty more content coming. Bye-bye!